Well, 2011 will always go down in history as the year in which the Arab Spring swept through North Africa. This resulted in bloody revolutions that toppled long-standing leaders right across North Africa. Let's take a look at where it all began. Well, it began in Tunisia as a result of the overthrow of Zine al-Abidine Ben Ali. Ben Ali fled into exile in Saudi Arabia. Shortly after that, Egypt caught these winds of change. It resulted in the overthrow of their long-standing president, Hosni Mubarak. Mubarak has recently been sentenced to life in prison for killing protesters. It carried on, or well, it failed to carry it on because Algeria was expected to be the next country that would follow, but it just never gained that sort of momentum. The president there quickly lifted a 19-year-old state of emergency, ostensibly to avoid similar troubles. Then Libya saw what was described as the messier side of these revolutions in North Africa. It ended with the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi, and Gaddafi was ultimately killed by rebel forces. But if you will recall, our focus today is on Egypt. So let's take a look at this timeline that led to this Egyptian revolution. On the 6th of June 2010, Khalid Said is beaten to death by police in Alexandria. A Facebook page titled "We Are Khalid Said" is created, rallying public anger. On the 17th of December 2010, Tunisian Mohamed Bouazizi ignites what is known as the Arab Spring. Let's take a look at what happened in the year 2011. If we just jump there, on the 25th of January, Egyptians demand that President Hosni Mubarak steps down. Let's take a look at this clip. On February the 11th, Mubarak is forced out of office. The interim military council takes power. On the 19th of March, 77% of Egyptians approve a revised constitution, paving the way for elections. Well, on the 3rd of August 2011, Mubarak's trial begins under a cloud of controversy. Let's take a look at what happens there. Well, as you can see, he's charged with corruption, killing protesters, and between the 28th and the 29th of November, the first round of parliamentary elections begin. Now, let's take a look here at what goes on May the 23rd and 24th. First round of presidential elections take place. A member of the Muslim Brotherhood and Mubarak's former prime minister advance to the runoff. Take a look. The state of emergency ends after 31 years. On the 2nd of June, Mubarak is sentenced to life in imprisonment. Between the 14th and the 17th of June, a court ruling leads to the dissolution, very controversially, of parliament. And then on the 24th of June, Mohamed Morsi wins that election. Now, Egypt's new president, Mohamed Morsi, has vowed to be president for all Egyptians, including Coptic Christians and the secular. This week, Africa 360 takes a look at the road ahead of Egypt's new leader and the implications for the biggest Arab nation having an Islamic leader.
It is a moment the Muslim Brotherhood had been waiting for over 8 decades. The election of one of their own to Egypt's top post. For years, the Islamist group was oppressed and persecuted. And now, Muslim brother Mohamed Morsi has come out victorious as Egypt's new leader. But the victory of the oldest Islamist organization comes with deep suspicion among some here in Egypt. Half of Egyptians believe that Islam will guarantee the country a better future, with the other half of the population fearing Islamist rule. But nowhere is this worry more felt than right here. Israel is concerned that its peace deal with Egypt, never warm, will cool further.
I'm a little bit worried. I'm actually, in some ways, I'm more worried for the Egyptians. I don't think all of them know what they have actually voted for. I don't think they're used to being a religious country.
This suspicion has been made worse by Morsi's stance on the matter. In an interview with Iran's Fars news agency, he was quoted saying, "Part of my agenda is the development of ties with Iran and Egypt. That will create a strategic balance in the region, as well as reconsider the peace deal with Israel." Even though one of Egypt's oldest allies, the U.S., has congratulated Morsi, some analysts say the U.S. should be cautious as years of secular rule, which were seen under ousted leader Hosni Mubarak, could end, and that a more radical system of governance might be the order of the day. With all the outside talk, it is domestically where Morsi will have to focus the most. Many Egyptians will demand a path of democracy and the respect of human rights and the rule of law. But the man himself seems to think that he's up to the challenge.
We will respect agreements and international law as well as Egyptian commitments and treaties with the rest of the world. We will work to establish the principles of Egyptians and its civil identity as well.
But it will not be an easy task. The Islamist faces the challenge of turning things around in a nation tired of turmoil while its economy is on the ropes. Nsepeng Mutima, E-News.